EGM Network.
What's up? Welcome to Bars Deep. How y'all doing today? Bars Deep, welcome to everybody. Today we're going to be talking about, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but we just had the Super Bowl recently, and Kendrick Lamar did an excellent job with his halftime performance. Right now they're trying to say that his performance is probably one of the highest viewed performances since Michael Jackson, which that would be a tremendous feat. I was kind of Googling some of the information today, and I was getting some conflicting information, but I think Google is trying to update its information. But I think what they're saying right now is that Kendrick Lamar's performance is the highest watched performance since Michael Jackson. So that would be an extraordinary feat. So that's what we're going to be discussing today, Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance and a lot of the hype that's come from it. And not just that, we're going to discuss rap then and now and how rap has affected the community. So today I'll have with me my son again, Will Harris III. He'll be joining me on the show, and we'll be discussing rap and how it affects us. And not just that, but Kendrick Lamar also and his extraordinary history-making Super Bowl performance. One thing I will say this about Kendrick Lamar, Willie, is that he has a lot of symbolism in his rap and a lot of metaphors, and he's real clever at the way he words things and the way he says things. And there was a lot of hidden messages in some of that performance. I didn't watch it live. I actually watched it when it was on YouTube a few times after the Super Bowl. But it was incredible to me. I loved it. What did you think?
No, I always think Kenny do a good job as it pertains to whatever message he's trying to get across in his music and his live performances. The only reason I didn't like it is because he didn't do songs that I felt like he should have did. That's really the only knock I have on it. Aside from that, I think it was great. At first, I really wasn't digging it at all because I was waiting to hear songs of his that I know that I like. I was waiting to hear All Right. I was waiting to hear King Kunta. I was waiting to hear Money Trees. I was waiting to hear a few different songs that never really came out. But aside from that, I definitely think he did an amazing job, especially with the symbolism and with where he's currently at in his career and the things that he's been doing this past year. I mean, he just won 5 Grammys the other day, so I'm sure he felt on top of the world. It felt like the world was his oyster in this particular moment. So all in all, definitely a good performance. Definitely a good performance for rap. Because a lot of rap shows get a lot of flack with a bunch of people on stage with microphones and one rapper and a bunch of homies and all of this. But I think it was pretty good. I just wanted to hear a few songs that I wanted to hear as a fan.
Okay.
So I was a little upset that I didn't get those songs, but aside from that, no, it was good.
Well, one of the things Minister Farrakhan came out and said that I was shocked to hear him say that Kendrick Lamar has set a higher bar for rap music. And there was a lot of controversy with Lil Wayne because Lil Wayne, happening in New Orleans, that's his neck of the woods. A lot of people thought he would be the performer, and him not being there, I think initially after the performance, a lot of people were criticizing Kendrick's performance. I think those were probably a lot of Lil Wayne fans, possibly, I'm not sure. But one thing I will say is that Lil Wayne would have definitely not done a better job, in my opinion. I'm here in Florida, and when I first arrived here in Florida, a friend of mine took me bogging. And for those of y'all who don't know what bogging is, because I didn't know what bogging was, it's when they go out in the swamp area in their trucks and they just drive through the mud. They don't do anything other than that. They just drive through the mud. And I remember I don't mind doing things different, and trying different things. And I went, and it was fun, driving through the mud in the water. And it got kind of boring after a while. But I remember, they posted up out there in the woods, and I'm out here, I'm the only black guy, and they're drinking beers. I don't really drink, but I drink like maybe a beer, and I'm just standing out there because we're about to be leaving in a little bit. And some guys drove through with a large truck, the big wheels and the Confederate flag, and jumped out. About 4 of them jumped out of their truck, and they were blasting Lil Wayne. I'm telling you right now, man, you can take a Lil Wayne song and you can basically take his song lyric for lyric, and you can put a white hood over your head, and you would not know that a black person wrote that song. in my
It's
opinion.
a lot of rap like that. Yeah, it's a lot of
Because
rap like that.
what you're doing is you're degrading, you're putting down, it's so much bigotry, there's so much negativity in rap, and I just didn't see how Lil Wayne, being as though they were in New Orleans, would have done a better job, in my opinion. But just to go back to the history of rap a little bit, I go back to the history of the generation of to the hip, to the hop, you don't stop the rock, all that kind of stuff when rap first started in my generation. And rap was playful. It was about, exaggerating who you were. I'm Superman and this and that. That's what rap was when I first got introduced to it. And rap went from there in my history of rap to NWA and people like the Ghetto Boys. By then, in the early 80s, we were selling drugs. So we were drug dealers. We would make between $3,000 to $6,000 a day selling drugs. Nothing that I'm proud of. It's just that this was a stage of history that I went through. And I remember when we would hear NWA singing dope man, F the police," and songs like that, we would look at each other like this would be like our first time hearing these songs. And we would listen to the lyrics, put the tape in, listen to the lyrics, and we would like periodically look at each other like, damn, they're talking about my life. And we actually felt like that. So, because rappers weren't rich. Rappers didn't make a lot of money. If they did, it would be somebody like Run DMC or somebody who was established, and it took a while to make a lot of money. And the thing about that is it was art imitating life. And somewhere in between there, we went from art imitating life to life imitating art, because now the rapper set the tone, and depending on what the rapper wears, depending on what the rapper drinks, what the rapper drives, what the rapper says is what the masses say now. So we went from art imitating life to life now imitating art. And I think that's a problem. We got drill music now. What was your introduction to rap when you first knew you liked it? Or the first artist you liked?
I can remember the first song the first song and the first video that I can remember wanting to come home from school and hear was Bone Thugs. It was First of the Month. One, because I thought the video was cool, and two, because I did like it. Although I didn't know really what they were saying, I did like the song. I can remember that probably being one of the first rap songs that I can remember really liking. My first rapper that I liked, probably like Master P or Tupac. So, because I didn't start liking Jay until I got a little bit older. Probably like in the middle school, early high school is probably when I started gravitating more towards Jay. But I can definitely remember Master P being one of my favorite rappers when I was younger. Tupac being one of my favorite rappers when I was younger, and Big. But his rap was a lot more entertaining. There's a lot more entertainment value in it back then. Whether it be the videos or whether it be the storytelling. And then after a while, what happened was when rap got commercialized, everything just turned into like one big sponsorship. Like everything about rap now is like a sponsorship. Like NBA teams, you got this company that'll pay you to put this liquor in there. We got this company that'll pay you to wear these clothes. We got this company that'll pay you to wear this jewelry. We got this company that'll pay you to drive this car. So now it's like the music videos are one big like advertising. It's like a commercial. It's like one big commercial.
So it's not about
these clothes.
So it's not about the art necessarily.
Not anymore. Not in totality. Not in the grand scheme of things. There are definitely rappers who still in it for the art. Producers who still in it for the art. They don't get as much shine because they may not be as commercialized or have as much influence as a popular rapper, regardless of what his substance may be in his music. But it's definitely not so much about the art no more. Now it's more about, a lot of people, they rap is their stepping stone to something else.
All
So a lot
right,
of people
so
use rap to get into the entertainment game and then branch off and do, whatever it is that they actually want to do.
So we had groups like Public Enemy. We had groups that had like certain messages. We had conscious rap. We had rappers who were served as almost like reporters, things that were going on in the community, and you could know what was going on in the community just by listening to somebody's album or somebody's record. They would talk about things that were going on in the headlines that needed to be addressed.
Right.
And now I think that it's more or less, you don't even have to be a good rapper nowadays to sell a lot of records. It's just about promotion. You can look at somebody like a Tekashi 6ix9ine, and other people. These are not talented people. These are not people who are
No, not at all.
lyricists. These are people who have become popular. They've gone viral. They got the one guy, Shamar. I think that's what his name is. A personality. He has a record out now. I mean, some of the people, like you said, they're using this as a stepping stone, and it's gotten away from being art. But my question is, how has this affected the community? Because if you look at the community, it seems like we're over sexualized. I mean, have you gone online or Facebook or anything and seen just pop on there and see a woman in her panties? I've seen it
all the time.
Oh yeah, right, all the time. What do you think that's about? What about the divide between men and women? Does rap play a part in that? How did we get there? Because we definitely, it's obvious there is a some sort of a war going on between the men and the women, where the women are constantly posting negative things about men, and men are constantly posting negative things about women. When I was growing up, you loved women, you loved the woman, but now it seems like we're getting away from that. Right. So what is that about? Where we don't like women, the women haters club kind of thing. Like, what's that about? What do you think? And the
That's
women hating men. How do we get there?
I do think the music has something to do with it. I personally, I don't know, because I love women, but it's definitely just like we were saying last time with the lack of real world interactions. A lot of dudes is learning how to talk to girls or learning about girls through rap music, and that's probably the worst place to learn about women as a whole. Now, obviously, there's always going to be, exceptions to the rule, but that's the worst place to learn about women as a whole. That's the worst place to get your quote unquote game for women. Rap music is going to be the worst place for that, as a whole, I should say. And then the women, the same thing. Women are listening to us, pretty much sex workers, on how to deal with men. And the relationship a sex worker has with a man is completely different from the relationship that a non-sex worker is gonna have with a man. So when you have the regular girls taking talking points from sex workers, and you got regular guys taking talking points from athletes, drug dealers, musicians who don't have this type of access, who have different type of access to these people, you kind of run into what we run into now. So you got girls expecting you to be a rapper, entertainer, drug dealer, and then you got the regular guys expecting you to be regular, but you might be taking your talking points from a sex worker whose relationship with men and money is completely different from what you'll experience as a regular person, because they have a willingness to do things that you yourself won't do. So the things that they're gonna get based on what they feel or what they think is completely different from what a regular person gonna get. And the same with guys. Like, guys is like, oh, she only want me for my money or my, but that's because you comparing yourself to someone who's a rapper, an athlete, an actor, something like, or just a big influencer. So your relationship with women is going to be completely different from theirs. So to take their talking point and apply it to your regular life is going to do you a disservice when it's time to actually get active and go outside and start dealing with these people.
Do we start in the schools? And is it something, because where do you learn this at? Do you learn this at home? Are your parents supposed to guide you through music, guide you through the influences of music? And that's easier said than done, because we could say this is something that needs to happen in the home, but everybody doesn't have the right proper guidance in the home. Actually, a lot of people's problems start in the home. So what if it's I remember I would do groups of kids, and these kids, probably 85 to 75% of these kids were going home to toxic environments. So regardless of what you told the kid still had to go back to a drug dealer or a mom who's not taking care of business. They still had to go back to those toxic environments. So even if you're saying some good things, how do we fix this, or how do we turn this around is the question. How do we get back to a village?
Start in the home. Yeah, definitely start in the home. And just like you said, a lot of people don't have that infrastructure at home to where they can see the things that you say materialize. Just like you said, they might go home and have an abusive parent, or just a parent that ain't taking care of business, a parent that's a drug dealer, or a parent that's in jail, something like that. So definitely starting at home, because I can remember you telling me, just like I said, Master P was one of my favorite rappers. I can remember you telling me that all Master P's jewelry was rented, and that
Mm-hmm.
he didn't really own the house that he was showing you in all the videos and at the one his cars. And I can remember
Mm-hmm.
that blowing my mind when I was a kid. But as I got older, and it found out to be really true that a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
jewelry is rented, a lot of the cars
Yep.
are rented, or is a gift.
Right. Right.
So it
Right. Right.
definitely starts there. It definitely starts there, but even so, even all right, so even though I'll say this, because we could definitely do it in the schools too, but it takes for that person to want to understand it. Because even now, I know grown men who believe that the rappers are as rich as they say.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm talking about men in
Mm.
their 30s who
Right.
believe that
Right.
these rappers are as rich as as they say. That
Right.
they
Right.
spent
Right.
X, Y, and Z on this car, that they spent X, Y, Z on this jewelry, not realizing that that was a gift or that was a loan, or you get that as long as you rapping. Once you start rapping, we come to take the car. We come to get the
I,
house.
I think rap has become the new crack cocaine because when
Mm,
crack hit the scene back in the early 80s, it took young kids like myself and my brother and our peers. It took us who were mannerable, positive kids, good kids, but we were hustlers. We would go out and shovel
mm-hmm.
snow to make money. We would go rake leaves to go make money. We would cut grass to go make money, and we would do that most of the time we were young. We would go get a paper route and throw papers in people's yards just to
Yeah, I
make
had paper
money.
routes. Yeah,
Yeah. So when crack hit the scene, that was just another hustle to us. We didn't know it was going to destroy the community. If we could have seen
yeah.
ahead,
Nobody, yeah, nobody did. It was new.
yeah, we did not know that we were going to go to prison. We didn't know that it was going to create a lot of violence. We didn't know that the people, the adults who we grew up respecting and loving, it was going to destroy their lives, and we were going to play a part in that. And it was just a situation where it just ravished the community. And now people aren't as cool with selling crack and drugs and things like that, and they shouldn't be. But the thing is, rap music is doing the same thing. It's ravaging the community. It's doing the same thing that crack did back then. If you look at drill music, you got young kids killing the kids they grew up with. You got kids writing
Yeah,
songs and talking about killing a kid that used to sleep over at their house and eat food and that their mom cooked for them. So it's like the community is being destroyed right now by a certain genre of rap music. And does rappers play a part in that? Because I remember when Lil Wayne went and said online he didn't even believe that racism existed, and I remember he caught a lot of flack from that because a lot of people looked at
yeah, I
that
remember.
like come on brother, like
Yeah,
come
I
on
remember that
brother.
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that might be one of the reasons why he didn't get picked to perform at the Super Bowl, even though it was Jay-Z's his choice. I still think those comments and some of that stuff in the past had something to do with them making that decision, me personally. But
Mm,
how do we change this? What is it that we need to do? I mean, I'm just being honest, because do we need mentorship programs? Do we need people to go into the schools or in the community groups, and do presentations on media and its influences, so these kids know not to take a picture of your privates and send it to another kid, so that kid doesn't get caught with child pornography and now has a case? I mean, how do we
yeah,
deal with this stuff? How do we deal with
it's
it?
definitely,
Cassette.
it's definitely got to be in the school, because that's where they spend most of their time at, throughout the day. And teachers are glorified babysitters. Some teachers spend more time with the kids than the parents do. So it definitely start in the schools. It start with the people who are making it, but also as consumers, the more people consume it and the more people pay attention to it, the more they're gonna make it. Um, so it comes down. It's a responsibility to the consumer also to kind of stop messing with it. But it's entertaining to people. People love drama. People love conflict. That's why it's so much dysfunction that's popular as far as TV is concerned. This reality TV shows is just dysfunctional. A lot of the music is dysfunctional. A lot of the relationship talk is dysfunctional. So
Right.
people love dysfunction. People love drama. People love anything like that. So as long as so as long as that exists, it's definitely going to be people to consume it. Now it doesn't. I won't say it as a whole is consumed on that level, but it's. I mean, it's popular. It's popular for dysfunction to be pushed to the forefront because, like I said earlier, a lot of the rappers who do make conscious or good regular rap music, they don't get the push that the dysfunctional rappers get. because people want to consume the drama.
Exactly. Now, with that, we're going to take a real quick break, and we're going to be right back with you. And this is Evergreen Media Studio right here in Vero Beach, Florida. We'll be right back.
Are you a therapist or a nurse seeking the multi-state compact license? In the state of Florida, these and many other industries require a Level 2 live scan background check for clearance to work in your industry. A1A Fingerprints is your certified live scan source from Broward to Brevard. And if you're a medical provider, you need to be registered on the ACA web portal. A1A Fingerprints will help you navigate and comply with the law. Call 772-494-6556 or visit a1afingerprints.com. A1A Fingerprints.
Winner of the Tony Award for Best Play, Master Class, takes you into the world of opera legend Maria Callas. Hear her life-altering lessons as she teaches, inspires, and challenges her students. Based on real-life classes Callas delivered at Juilliard, this is a glimpse into the soul of one of the 20th century's most celebrated artists. Her voice, her artistry, her legacy. Masterclass is now playing on the beautiful Waxlack stage at the Riverside Theater. Tickets available now at the box office or online.
Create your island paradise at Sunshine Furniture during our winter sale event. Save 50% on all Tommy Bahama and Lexington, including the newest collection, Key Biscayne. Living room, dining room, occasional chairs, office, and media furniture with sophisticated design and a mix of coastal and Caribbean style. All Tommy Bahama and Lexington offer everything you need for your Florida living. We have the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture from Four Seasons, Capri, Universal, Riverside, Hooker, Seawinds, Barca Lounger, Best, and lots more. At Sunshine Furniture, we're the outdoor furniture experts specializing in patio sets that withstand the Florida elements, and we have a gallery of Berlin Garden and Pollywood. Come in now for the best prices of the year. Sunshine Furniture, $12.95 US 1 in Vero Beach. Don't miss the 50% off winter sale on Tommy Bahama and Lexington going on now. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com and visit our outlet store directly across the street.
Welcome back to Bars Deep. We're here in the Evergreen Media Studio here in sunny Vero Beach, Florida this morning, and I'm here with my son, Will Harris III. We're discussing rap music. We were just discussing the Super Bowl halftime performance of Kendrick Lamar, which was, I think, excellent. Kendrick Lamar is like a breath of fresh air when it comes to rap music, man, because I'm sick and tired of the butt shaking. I'm sick and tired. I'm burned out with the jury, with the dancings, provocative. And listen, twerking, I'm not against twerking. I'm not against beautiful women. I'm not against any of that, but I am definitely against hypersexuality and promoting of it, because we have young people. It's not even about the adults. It's about the young people who are watching it, who are seeing it, and they're thinking that it's okay and it's becoming normalized. We have enough sexual assaults and other things that happen and molestations that happen with kids. We do not need kids thinking that it's okay for them to be half dressed and for them to be out having sex. And I think that rap promotes a lot of the negativity and a lot of those things. So back with my guest, my son, Will Harris. Willie, talk about some of the things that you do as far as media and the difference that you make when it comes to media. What are some of the things you're involved with?
Me and my recruiter run a media company, interviews media. It's pretty much like a network. We started with just doing some interviews. My recruiter was doing some interviews. We started from there. We built a sports show, like a local sports football show. We're coming into season 3 this August. So that's been pretty successful. Shout out to Coach Stella. Coach Stella is the face of that particular show. He's also got a nonprofit, Love Your Community. He's doing some really good things with the kids as it pertains to getting them ready in the off season for football, basketball. He's got a 707 traveling team. He just recently started. I believe that they're going out for the first time this summer. So that's a big thing. That's all pretty much been a culmination of all of his work that he's done up to this point, as well as, the show kind of enhancing his efforts. Oh, 1 second, I got something going on with this laptop here. All right, there we go. But no, I mean, I'm doing a lot of video recording, a lot of video editing. I pretty much do all the edits between me and my recruiter. all of the lower thirds, any of the visuals, I do all the graphics for the most part. My recruiter definitely does some. His son does some as well. His son Khalid, he does some as well. But it's one stop shop. We do everything in house, from your logo to your brand design, to your brand architecture, to your advertisement, your marketing materials, any videos you might need, any audio you might need. Just a one-stop shop media company. We got a few other shows in the pipeline. His son has a show called Shades of Yesterday. He interviews, older individuals about what life was like when they were growing up. Um, we're working on a few other shows. One podcast called No More Dirt is in the works. We haven't started that just yet. But we got a few. Some things I can't really say because I don't want anybody to take the idea and run with it. But we got a
Right.
few things that will be working on this summer and going into the fall that we're real excited about.
How can someone reach you?
Reach me.
Email.
Let me see. You can reach me on Facebook, I guess you could say. I don't have a website for just my graphic work. I got a website for the clothes that I make, which is canariesusa.com. Interviews website is innrvws.com. We also got a book club on there. A few other things. We're working on some wellness initiatives as far as fitness is concerned. We got a 5K coming up here in Warren early April that we're working on right now, real close with the mayor. So just get that thing out there. But as far as reaching me, you can find me on Instagram, Willie Gotham, WILLIEGOTEM. Send me a DM. I got some of my work on there. But a lot of my work is word of mouth. I don't typically advertise what I do. A lot of people either have been directed to me, somebody close to them told them that I could help them out, or they just kind of see us actively doing the work, and then they associate me with that. So that's typically how you can get in touch with me. I don't like to be
Beautiful.
too much in the. I like to hang back a little bit and just work.
Yeah, you totally different than me because I like to be in the forefront.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
to sit in the back and just work.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that. A lot of powerful people are like that. So yeah. So what I was saying about Kendrick Lamar, as far as his breaking the record, as far as the Super Bowl being most watched, if that's actually true, and I'm gonna look up some more information once this is over with to kind of find out if that's true or not. If that's true, like this guy is probably like the new standard of rap music, I think. And if more people create rap with consciousness behind it, with a purpose behind it, I think that it'll reflect in the community. I think that rap has such a stronghold on the African American community that it sometimes misleads the community as a whole when people don't really know. Because like you were saying, there are a lot of grown people, a lot of adults right now who are kind of mixed up based off of rap music. Because when you look online and you see a lot of the half dress, a lot of the butt shaking, a lot of the promotion of drugs and violence, those are oftentimes a lot of adults. And I know we've been talking about young people, but to be honest with you, it are the adults, the 30 and up, who are experiencing, who are involved in a lot of these different things. So I think that should be considered. So we're going to be wrapping up, and we'll see you all next Thursday. Before we get out of here and before I sign out, I want to give a shout out to Jesse. He's our engineer right here, and he does a great job as far as keeping us hooked up and keeping us looking good. So I want to give a shout out to him, and also just want to also say that Evergreen Media is available. If you're anywhere in America, if you want to use them, you can contact Jesse here at Evergreen Media. They're on YouTube. You can find them on YouTube. You can find them on Facebook and other platforms. And you can actually, they can hook you up. You don't have to be in the studio. You can be remote. So we'll see y'all next Thursday. Willie, you in this. Go ahead.
Oh, I wasn't ready. My bad. I was looking at my phone. No, shout out to Jesse once again. Like you said, keeping us hooked up, keeping us looking good. Sometimes that can be a thankless job. I've done it many times before, and I know how that can kind of go. So definitely appreciate you for that. Like I said, shout out Interviews Media. Feel free to go to the website, innrvws.com. You want to see what we about, if you want to join the book club or just see what we've done up until this point. Get a little bit of information on what we got coming in the future, because we definitely got some big things coming down the pipeline. But aside from that, no, Pops, I appreciate you having me again. Jesse, always is good to see you again, too.
Love you, son. Everybody,
Tupac.
peace out.
Before